Well, hello, Coastal Living. I've got my son with me here today, and we're going to explain to you one of the most common conditions that we're seeing in our office and how you can beat it. Because my clinic in town here is called Armadillo Sport Chiropractic, but over the last 6 months since the start of COVID, it should be more accurately called Armadillo I sit in my chair all day long and now my body's falling apart chiropractic. Because that's practically all we're seeing now. So there's a simple fix. You guys don't need to come in here and spend all your money seeing me or some other guys for fixes that you can be doing at home. For the most part, it's going to take a little explanation and 4 simple exercises that will get you back on track and feeling better than ever. So I've got my wonderful partner in crime in here, and we're going to explain to you how these 4 things work and why they work, which is more important, because if you don't understand it, you're not going to get better. So take Braylon here, for instance. He has to sit at his computer all day long. He's got to do his school, and he gets very rounded. The front side of his muscles start to get forward and short, and the back muscles get longer than they should be. And I want this to really kind of sink in. These muscles back here are tight. I hold all my tension up here, doc. I sit all day, I'm banging on my computer. It's killing me. These muscles aren't short and contracted and need to relax. They're longer than they need to be. So we're going to go through 4 exercises right now that will help undo those long muscles and get your backside working like it's supposed to so you can start moving better. Speaking of that, your first rule before we get to those 4 is that you do have to start moving. No one should be sitting down for 8 hours a day. I don't care if you're just a 7th grader or if you're a 70-year-old retiree. Get up and get moving. So get up. Now go out for a run. And that's how we're going to start it. That's what I want you guys to get moving. We're going to show you the next 4 exercises as we continue. So we're going to start here with our first exercise, and it's basically turning the back side on. I want your shoulder blades being able to come together. So Braylon's going to demonstrate. Your arms come out wide, and rather than trying to stretch yourself, you're going to squeeze them together. Notice how the numbers and the letters on his shirt disappear. That's because his shoulder blades are going in together. They're moving independently from his shoulders, and he's turning these backside muscles on. In essence, shortening them and getting them back to the right tension. Now in my clinic, I have a lot of people that want to just move their shoulders farther back. That's not it. It's moving the shoulder blades independently from your shoulders and getting them working. Exercise number 2 is called Reach for the Stars. Basically, we've got the shoulders doing what they're doing. Now we want the entire back to do what it's supposed to do. So Braylon's going to turn. He's going to reach for the ceiling, reach for the stars. He's going to look up behind his fingers, and now he's going to squeeze that entire backside down. This should feel fantastic, like a stretch on the entire front side of your body, and you're turning on the entire backside. The way Braylon's doing it is he's got his whole entire backside going together. You're going to hold this for 3 or 4 seconds or do it repetitively like this for like a set of 10. It should feel fantastic, and it's undoing hours of sitting here like this. Okay, so the third one that we're going to go over is contracting your glutes. When you sit, your body gets efficient at whatever you ask it to do. When you do anything in life, your body gets efficient at whatever you ask it to do. So if you're asking it to sit for 8 to 14 hours a day, basically you're just going to shut your backside off. Your butt's not working. Turn it back on. So Braylon also does soccer with me. I'm one of his coaches. And we don't stretch. We don't stretch before we go play soccer because that's very 1990s. Why would I have him stretch out a muscle and then ask him to go and perform to the most of his ability and make those muscles contract? So he contract. He's going to grab his glutes, and he's going to do one at a time, and he's going to make it flex. And I want your hand on your booty, and I want you to feel it contract each time. It's a set of 10 on one side, a set of 10 on the other side, and then a set of 10 with both hands on each glute, and you're squeezing the butt together. Get your glutes back awake so that they're not just sitting there resting all day long. Now the next one, the 4th one, is going to be very similar. It's going to be the hamstrings, right? I know we're from that era of, hey, my hamstrings are always tight. My hamstrings are tight. No kidding. You're sitting all day long. Your hamstrings are being stretched out longer than they ever can. So remember, this isn't the 1990s. This isn't when we used to just stretch and try to loosen up everything. We've come a long way since then. Your hamstring muscles are longer than they need to be. Grab your hamstring, and just like the glutes, you're going to bend the leg up and down, up and down. Make sure those hamstrings are being turned on, and now you've worked the entire back chain. It's 4 exercises that should take you probably 90 seconds. 90 seconds to undo hours of sitting there. And I would say for every 2 or 3 hours that you're sitting, you should probably run through this protocol. Those 4 things should get you back on track. Now you've woken up your body. Now you're trying to undo the seated position. If you can get up and change your workspace and not have to sit as much, that's the most important. But we live in reality. Sometimes you can't always get up and move around, and you do have to spend some time seated. Make sure you're doing the work to undo the seated position and get yourself feeling better, because we're all going through this at the same time, even these school guys. Take care, Coastal Living. Good to see you. Stay with it, and more tips and tricks coming soon.